Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share my Halloween layout number 3. This layout was actually from a page kit that I put together at the start of the month to use up some of my Halloween supplies. And there's nothing brand new in this uh, stash of stuff that I have. I have some newer products, but nothing that is brand new this year. I have opted to stay out of the store this year and stay offline looking for Halloween stuff. I have an Iris box full of Halloween that I have barely put a dent in. So here I am, I'm making the third layout, and I was inspired by a layout that I found over on Pinterest, and I believe it tracks back to Designer Digitals. Say that fast. Designer Digitals. Um, Anywho, it was a really cute layout, and so I thought, okay, because I have gray tones in the papers, I will go ahead and use that as my inspiration. And you'll see here, the paper that I have down there for my background is actually different than the one I pulled out for the page kit. And that is because I needed something that was darker and felt like it blended better with the pattern paper that I have there. And you can see I just went through and I inked up the edges of that one because when I cut it down to go on that background paper, the edges were stark white. So I have a couple of gray cardstocks, also going to use those in the background. I have a lighter and darker because they're mixed in with that bat paper. And so I'm going to use that one for photo matting. And I actually thought I was going to use the other to double mat it, but I guess not. I'll go around here and ink up the edges, but I made that border that photo mat so close that, yeah, it's getting on the photo mat as well, and that's okay. Um, I'm okay with not perfect. So in case you don't know, I typically will make 4 or 5 layouts, sometimes 3 or 4 layouts each year for Halloween. I do them prior to Halloween so that once Halloween is done, I can just add a few photos and call them done. I don't usually have more than a few photos of Halloween, and so there's nothing to carry over until the next year to do layouts with. So I just pre-make these. If I have leftovers, they go into my unfinished layout album. Sometimes when my sister comes to town, she'll go through that album and find photos that she has that will match one of the layouts perfectly and add it to her supplies. Add it to her collection from there. And I'm okay with that. If I don't want to share it, I'll say, no, you can't have that one. But a lot of times it's like, okay, whatever. If you want it, take it. I'm good with it. I share fairly well with my sister, and she shares with me too. So it works out well. Um, Anywho, so I'm just continuing to layer up papers for the background. That glitter paper is actually one that I pulled from my stash. It is maybe from the Dollar Tree. I think I got a 5 pack of 9 by 12 papers from glitter papers from the Dollar Tree, and I think that was one of them. So yeah, I am getting everything situated as far as the background goes, and there's layers down at the bottom, and so I decide I'm going to use that leftover piece of paper there, and I'm just going to ink the edges up. And for whatever reason, I didn't grab one of my sponge daubers. I just grabbed a sponge that I had up in my little container where I keep my sponging tools and things. And so it works just as well. Sometimes your fingers get a wee bit more messy. After this layout is complete, I go back and I add some liquid adhesive to the back of that photo mat because on glitter paper, for whatever reason, it doesn't always stick well. So there I just added a strip of ribbon from my stash, and I'm going to cut it down. And that is a vinyl piece that has flying bats. Really cute, but really it did not stick down on the glitter or the ribbon, so I had to add some um, glue dots behind it, and they worked fairly well holding it in place. So one of the things that I decided to do with my Halloween pages, I tried to pull out ribbons to go with each page to try and get some, random ribbons used up. And I've been looking in my supplies and I've realized I have a ton of ribbon that I need to use. I've had it forever. I haven't bought any new in forever, but I also haven't used any in forever. And so here recently, I've been trying to pull in a little bit more ribbon, trying to get more of it used from my stash and into my albums or onto my cards. Here, these are just a couple of doilies. I think they were American Craft, and they were spiderweb doilies. And I have them in 3 different colors, and I chose the black for this. I have some leftover um, stickers there from a collection. I don't know where that collection was from, but I finished off the package. There were only those 3 things in it. Now that title is from a thicker set that was in my stash. And so I'm glad I finally got to add that down. And you'll see I'm going to move that bigger spider up to hang at the end of that word. I was going to move the other spider over, but it'll work. Because the background paper has gold bats all over it, I thought it would be fun to add some black glitter bats as well. But here you can see I'm going to add some washi strips from those washi strips in that, I think it's pink paisley. Wherever that little sticker book is from, I'm adding some washi strips from it, just all over the layout. And those, those are so stinking cute. I love those images in there. Yeah, and I have that, and it actually has a date on it for 2008, so you can tell that's pretty old, and it's been in my stash for probably that long. I'm glad I was able to use a little bit from these sticker sheets that have been in my stash for a long time that I haven't been able to use. That packet of washi tape and strips came from Tuesday Morning. I think I actually purchased it last year in 2019 to use on some layouts then. They got a whole collection of all different collections of Halloween supplies in last year, and I just went crazy and I bought all kinds of pieces, but yeah, I didn't use hardly any of it because, like I said, I use like 4 or 5. I make 4 or 5 layouts each year, and that's about all I make. So I think if I can keep from it, uh, i.e., control my spending, I'm not going to buy any more Halloween supplies until I use up over half of what I have. So here I am, I'm adding the bats. I have chipboard bats and then I have flatter sticker bats, and I'll use both sets. It's really fun to be able to use these things. Like I think that set may have come from the Michael's Dollar Spot or the Target Dollar Spot, which is not a dollar spot anymore. They're both pretty pricey, but I think that that's where both those sets came from. And I'm glad that I'm finally able to get some more use out of them. And hopefully next year, whenever I'm creating layouts, I'll be able to finish those off and, be able to throw the packaging away. Now I'll just go through my stickers, and that's typically what I do. I go through the stickers multiple times, and I have the stickers there sitting beside me from the previous 2 pages that I've made. So I'm going through all the stickers from each of the pages that I've made to see if there's anything else to pull in to use. I do find I'm going to use one of those little pumpkins there, and I wish I had actually popped that up, but it's okay. I'll layer a couple at the top as well. and I was going to use one down at the bottom, and for whatever reason I didn't. Um, I may go ahead and pull one out and put it on that layout. But I've already taken the photos and everything else for it, so it won't be photographed if I add the pumpkin to the bottom. Going to add some of those words. I've had those forever as well, and I've never used them. So it's nice to be able to use some of that stuff. And those I actually had to put some adhesive behind because they don't stick it hardly anymore. Um, anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. I hope that you enjoy this layout, watching me put this layout together, and I hope it inspired you to get into your stash to play with some of the supplies that you have. Hopefully get some of them used into albums or onto cards or whatever you do with your supplies that you have, your crafting supplies. Anyway, if you like to see layouts where people use their older stash to put layouts together, mixed with some newer things, or just all old stuff, whichever, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. If not, that's okay too. If you like what you saw, I would love a thumbs up, but if you don't want to, that's okay too. No biggie, it's not mandatory. Anyway, stay tuned for close-ups at the end, and I will see you guys on the next layout. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.